of the alcohol. La 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 la. Just line 'em up and we will drink them all. La 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 la. Well, my mother always said, if you want to drink all day, you best start in the morning, son, 'cause that's the Irish way. We don't get drunk, we get awesome. And every other mother will agree. We don't get drunk, we get awesome. So order up around for you and me. We don't get drunk, we get awesome. And every mother must agree. We don't get drunk, we get awesome. So order up around for you and me. And you and me. And you and me. Let there be whiskey.
Hey, everybody. Welcome once again to Nerds with Alcohol. I'm Russ.
And I'm Chris.
And this is episode 265?
265.
265, back in the virtual nerd basement.
CD says he's scared. Don't worry, CD. He's not a very good hacker. That's really all it.
My hair is wet and I just got out of the shower and I just kind of like this hooded shirt that I got from work. So, hell of a week, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again.
Oh my God, what a week.
I hope you're having a great week. I hope you had a great week. Although from the state of the world, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, I am living in anxiety, an anxious mess. I'm an anxious mess. So
the Emperor has joined us.
Now you will witness the full power of this fully functional Death Star.
No, CD. He's not going goth. Russ has always been goth.
Always been a little goth. It's been a while, but
it's been a while.
It's been a while. Wow. Same diff.
Yes,
so
use your fear.
My week was like I said, kind of weird because of, like I said, things going on.
Mm-hmm.
But we're getting the basement squared away. We're still waiting. I think we're still waiting on the cement for the adhesive for the baseboard stuff that John bought. And he bought like one of those strips of baseboard, basically. Mm-hmm. Got a roll of it. Kind of you put it on, and then you cut at the corners and stuff like that. So there's that. What the hell's calling me now? It's probably I've been getting a lot of spam calls, like just within the last couple of days, like a lot of them. So, hang on. Detroit number verified. Well, I let it go voicemail. So anyway, it's been a week, man. Yeah, I mean, just trying to get do work, and I got a call from somebody about a potential body paint gig in like this first weekend, the second weekend of April, but I think I might have priced myself out of the gig because the dude was just, I think, I gave him like a quote of like between $500 and $600 to body paint 2 people at an event. And, and he said that they wanted like kind of jungle cat stuff. And I'm like, okay, like say a tiger and a leopard. And he goes, yeah, that'd be okay. I mean, that's generally about a $300 body paint. And then, I'll kind of give you a little deal because it's 2 of them together. But I gotta I got to drive to Flint to do it, so there's some travel expenses. So, that kind of discounts that, so about $500-$600, about $600. And and I think for him, he said that was that seemed fairly reasonable. But I think probably because he said he was going to get back to me over the weekend and he didn't. So I think maybe the committee that they were trying to pay for it, like, whoa, $600. And that's actually a very reasonable price for 2 pretty elaborate body paints, particularly
I'd say so.
From my skill level.
So here's the thing. How much time does that take?
Give or take about 4 hours a piece.
That's what. So that's an 8-hour day right there.
Probably actually closer to 3 hours a piece because I could probably bang those out a little bit faster. I think because I've done them before.
Mm-hmm.
I've done like jungle cat kind of body paints before, so I could probably get them both done in about 6 hours. But still, I got to lug all my equipment. I got to provide all the makeup.
Yep.
That's probably
you got to drive all the way up there. I mean, that's an hour drive. Easy.
It's probably minimum about $150 worth of body paint.
Yeah, and if 75's closed at any point like it is right now, going northbound, that adds time. So I mean, yeah.
And
so
like I said,
you're looking at a minimum of 8 hours.
Right.
Total
and it's
time.
It's also physically demanding.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're up, you're down, you're kneeling, you're squatting, you're moving around the model because it's easier for you to move than for the model. Constantly, you're telling the model where to go and what to do.
Oh yeah.
So
good point, CD. And gas is pricey right now.
And gas is pricey, right? All these things, right? So, and I'm actually, like I said, I'm relatively quick, comparatively, because I work largely in airbrush, and it's just funny. Like people just don't understand the outlying costs. My body.
How much if you just do it with a roller?
Right. Yeah. And my body paint costs $10 an ounce. The high end body paint that I use costs $10 an ounce. So just get a kid. Yeah, there you go. It's not cheap stuff. This is really good body paint. So like I said, it's $10 an ounce, and you figure for for an average size person, unless the models are particularly small or particularly large, it takes anywhere from 6 to 8 ounces of makeup to do a body paint, depending on the complexity of the design. And so I'd be probably going through between $140 to $160 worth of just in makeup alone. So it's like these people, they don't fucking understand the cost, that the maintenance on my airbrushes, the cost of my my compressor, the cost of my stencils, I mean, just like all this shit that goes into it. So that's why I do really appreciate it when somebody does like go, when I quote them a price and they're like, okay, no problem, here you go. So getting closer to my show. I think I might have mentioned it on the show a few times. The
maybe once,
murder
twice.
mystery. Yeah, maybe a couple. The Murder Mystery Dinner Theater show that we're doing on the 20th of March in Eaton Rapids, here in Michigan. It is about an hour from the Detroit area, about a half hour outside of Lansing. So it's a little bit of a hike, and it's a little pricey. It's $108 for a ticket because you get a full gourmet 4-course meal. And it's pretty fantastic.
But just for future knowledge, is there vegetarian options as well? Like if you're a vegetarian? What's that? There are? Okay, cool. Good to know. Because that's always the problem, is when they do a set menu type of thing, like a 4-course meal or something like that. A lot of times you have to worry about whether or not there are actually vegetarian options. Hell, just going out to eat at some places, you got to worry about whether or not there's vegetarian options.
Yeah, exactly. So, but one thing that was a little bit of a drag, I canceled my insurance, my health insurance, because I have new health insurance from work, which is great, and it's much better than what I had before. But then I go to try and sign into my account on the website, but because I had Blue Cross Blue Shield before, canceled my coverage, and this is also Blue Cross Blue Shield. I go to the website and they're like, no, you're already to activate the new account. And they're like, no, you already have an account. So I'm like, oh crap. So I'm hoping the computer caught up and maybe got rid of my account, and then I don't have to like spend an hour on the phone with customer service trying to get this situated. I mean, I have the insurance. That's not a big deal, but accessing it online now, I gotta figure that out. So we shall see.
Yeah, CD. Wings is vegetarian. I'm not. I tried it.
Yes.
I got sick. I wasn't getting enough protein. Although I didn't know what I was doing back then. I know a lot better now. I could probably try it again, but I like meat too much.
Meat. It's what's for dinner. Yeah, I can't. Ugh, no, can't. I can't. I couldn't. I could never be vegetarian. I mean, if I even attempted it, I would be eating all of the different kinds of replacement meat, because it's not just for me. It's not just the taste. It's the texture. It's cooking with it. It's I gotta have it. I gotta have. I'm Italian. I gotta have it. Hey, I gotta have my my hamburger with my sauce, and I gotta have my chicken parm, and I gotta have my bacon wrapped bacon. It's fine. Okay, that I just checked.
Bacon with a side of bacon.
Which you can get at One Eyed Betty's.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's fucking awesome.
Yep. It's a thing of bacon with pork belly on the side.
Yeah. You need meat.
Yep.
Just wings is vegetarian? No. You need meat. Bacon, gross. Who says bacon is gross, Renee? That's messed up. Come on.
He's the only person I know.
Joy. Bacon is
bacon is joy in solid form.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Now see, I will say this. Renee actually made me. She made this for me. She actually got some chicken breasts, wrapped them in pepper bacon, and cooked them and baked them in the oven. That was absolutely amazeballs.
I bet
it was so fucking good.
I do not doubt.
So
amazing.
Well, my week's been pretty much the same. Working on D&D, getting ready to start the new job.
Yep.
Which got pushed back again. It looks like test results and things like that and background checks haven't completed. So they're trying to rush everything through, and they were trying to rush it all through within like a week, and that kind of stuff takes time. So right now, my guess is I'm going to start Monday. So I get the rest. All right. I'm gonna because at this point, why start? Even if everything came through, which it didn't come through today, even if it comes through tomorrow, why start on Friday? Or Thursday or Friday. So.
Very true.
But yeah, so get ready for our game on Friday.
Yeah.
Been printing like crazy. Got prints going right now. So
Tavern Nights at 7:30 on Friday night here on
Twitch.
On Twitch.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's been a lot of fun so far. So we'll see what happens this week.
Yeah, we're having a great time. I mean, the whole the whole dungeon that we've been doing, the Castle Greyhawk, has just been really great, really fantastic. So
very classic dungeon crawl. It's got everything. It's got orcs. It's got goblins. It's got giants.
Traps.
It's got traps. It's
oh my god, it's fantastic. I can't get over it. It's wonderful. One kind of fucked up thing that happened over the weekend. So there was the Nordic Fire Festival happened over the weekend. I don't know exactly where it was, but it was a little further up north. A little bit of a hike from here, but not crazy. A bunch of friends from Ren Fair and whatnot, they went, and apparently it was a good time. Bands played, picked us, the pipe and drumming band picked us from the Renaissance Festival was there. Good time was had by many until my friend Rebecca got a little too close to a fire and her skirt went up. And her skirt burned, and then it also apparently her leggings caught, which sucks. So they put the fire out. She was rushed to the hospital. She is currently she was in Lansing, a hospital in Lansing for a few days. They moved her just recently to U of M, where she had went through a debriding procedure the other day. It's 2nd degree. It's not quite 3rd degree, but it is painful. But she's recovering, thankfully. So.
I've had 2nd degree burns. They hurt like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's not 3rd degree is good.
Yeah. So she shouldn't scar, or if she does, it's going to be real minor. She also won't need skin grafts, but
right. That's the
she's
big
very
one,
uncomfortable.
is that they won't have to, like, you know, remove the dead skin and take skin from somewhere else and put it on. That was,
well, apparently they did have to remove some skin, some dead skin, but I mean, probably like places where it started to get a little third degree-ish, you know, but not quite. But I haven't spoken to her, but the posts she was making, I'm sorry if you hear.
Yeah, I'm like, what was that?
Stella has her writing group tonight, and they're here this week. So, and I did tell these crazy writers to try and keep it to a dull roar. So, and they said, "Excuse me, we're a exciting roar." Like, okay, very well, but let's try and, you know. But so yeah.
CD asked if that was a dying giraffe.
A what?
A dying giraffe.
A dying giraffe. It sounded giraffe-ish. So, let's see.
So,
yeah.
What are you drinking?
I'm not drinking anything tonight. I didn't get a chance to grab anything. I ended up being at work a little later than I intended, and I didn't get a chance to stop at the thing. And Stella's been drinking all of our shit. So that's it. Well, her birthday is this weekend.
And it sounds like she's becoming a real writer then.
Yeah, exactly. That's very good. No, she basically she's been indulging a little bit because her birthday is this weekend, and she's said to me that she goes, after my birthday, I'm gonna cut way back on blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, baby, yeah, all right, we'll see. So I'm sorry, did not get a chance to get anything today. What are you drinking?
So this last weekend I was in Royal Oak, and I went by Holiday Market, which has a very large selection of beers. I was looking for something specific that the brewer at Royal Oak had told
pretty decent selection of meads and ciders too. Actually.
Yeah, they got a really good selection of a lot of things. And the stuff, it's a kind of a gourmet market. So, I mean, you can find a lot of things you can't find elsewhere. A lot of fresh stuff. Their meat counter is fantastic. I really like that store. I used to go there all the time when I lived in Ferndale, but now it's a bit of a hike for me to go there. So.
Yeah, and it's pricey too. It is. You know, as a market, I mean, yeah, you can get all kinds of, as you're saying, you can get all kinds of gourmet stuff. You get amazing cheeses. The produce is it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
But you'll pay for it. You can also get a lot of foreign shit too. Like, you know, like European stuff.
Yep. Anyway, so I went there. Didn't find the beer I was looking for, but I found two other things. One of which I am reviewing tonight. The other one I'm going to review next week because it's actually an Irish ale. So I figure I'll do it closer to St. Patrick's Day. Even though we'll still have another show after that before St. Patrick's Day. But this one I bought strictly because of the name. And it is called Wiccan Chicken.
Wiccan Chicken?
Yep.
Chris, I think that has got to be one of the more ridiculous names you've ever presented to me.
Why do you think I got it?
Wiccan Chicken.
It's from Illuminated Brew Works. Which is, where are they at? They're out of Chicago. This is a 7.5 ABV, double dry hopped, double India Pale Ale. Dry hopped with Rakau, Sabro, and Mosaic hops. I like Mosaic. I don't know the other two very well. It says, Wiccan Chicken is the latest release from the heroes and villains at your friendly neighborhood Illuminated Brew Works. Made with over 3 pounds per barrel of Sabro, Rakau, and Mosaic hops, this beer, it tastes better and it's finger licking good because it's made in a Louisiana kitchen where you can have it your way while still being morally righteous and religiously hypocritical.
Nice.
We're loving it,
dude.
We're loving it because we have the meats. IBW always thinking outside the bun. Enjoy.
Well, all right then. Well, how is it?
Well, it is a very cloudy IPA, so it's very much like the New England style. I mean, that looks like a milkshake.
Does it bring all the boys to the yard?
Maybe. It has a very citrusy aroma. I'm going to take another sip here. It's It's actually really kind of mild for a double IPA and a double dry hopped IPA at that. It is kind of citrusy. It does have a lot of those hops. And then if you let it linger, it does come through. It's, in all honesty, I can compare this to M43. I think that it's very similar. Not quite as juicy as M43. But it's still in that same vein of that type of beer with that same type of flavor profile. Again, just not quite as juicy, not quite as fruit forward. But it's not bad. As far as a double dry hop double IPA, I think it's possibly a little light on the hop flavor. Although some of the hops that come through, there is some hop flavor there, and it's really not the hops that I care for a whole lot. I don't like the way it's kind of like the orange rind. It's that type of bitterness that comes through. You get a little bit of the orange, but you get that super bitter taste as well. But overall, it's not a bad beer. But if you want like a super hoppy double IPA type of thing, this is on the lower end of that. Even ABV wise, this is a very low ABV double IPA. But overall, I'd give it like probably about a 3.5, 3.75. I mean, it's not bad. It's drinkable, that's for sure. I'll drink the 4-pack that I got. So,
well, alrighty. Wiccan.
Oops, let me see. Where's my hands there? Wiccan chicken.
That's fucked up, dude. Okay. So we should probably just kind of get right into it.
Yes.
As on February 28th, I believe it was February 28th.
That was yesterday.
You're right. No, I'm sorry. So it was more like
it was last Thursday or Friday. Thursday, I think it was
Thursday. Yeah. Russia attacked the Ukraine and invaded the Ukraine. And has for the last Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
This
Sunday,
is day
Monday,
6, I believe.
Would be day 6. Has waged a campaign against several of the cities in Ukraine, trying to take those cities.
I guess it was specific. This was last Wednesday.
Kiev. Was it Wednesday?
Yeah, Renee said it was 2:23. So it was last Wednesday.
Specifically Kiev.
It's Kyiv.
Kyiv.
Kiev is the way Russians say it. Kyiv is the way that Ukrainians say it.
Oh, okay.
So one way to show that you're standing with Ukraine is to say it as Kyiv. I found that out on the radio.
Well, I know that they also changed the spelling is the Ukrainian spelling. That's how it's being, being depicted in the news and whatnot. So yeah, they attacked a sovereign nation, a huge country, attacked a very small one.
Yeah, the second largest country in Europe.
Mm-hmm. And what's the biggest country in Europe?
Russia.
Well, wait, no, the Ukraine is the second biggest.
Yeah.
So, but Russia is the biggest, and
yeah.
So the Ukraine. I didn't know that. So yeah. A massive country that and attacked their neighbors. Now, the Ukraine at one time, for many years, was part of the Soviet Union and actually was considered part of actual Russia, part of the original Russian Empire for a long time. A lot of people are saying that Putin wants a.
Actually, this says the largest country in Europe is Ukraine.
Oh, okay.
I think because most of Russia's landmass is actually in Asia.
Yeah. But anyway, they're saying that Putin is, like he really wants a return of the full like Russian Empire. So he is trying to get that country back in. I guess is definitely it was part of it. So we've seen horrible. We've seen essentially atrocities. I don't think it's an atrocities on the level of like yet on World War II level. But we're seeing
they're targeting civilian populations.
Right, they're targeting civilian populations, which is a war crime.
Well, there's actually, I was listening to NPR today. They're saying that the invasion itself is a war crime.
Right.
Because they have no justification that anyone can see for saying it's in self-defense.
Right, exactly. They just invaded. Now, and I also saw a post somebody had made about all of the resources that the Ukraine has. They're massive. They've got massive mineral like resources. They have
one of the largest uranium deposits.
Correct.
In the world.
They also have I mean, that's where Chernobyl was during when it was still part of the Soviet Union.
Well, let's face it, that's where Chernobyl still is, because the Russian troops actually took over that whole area.
And you also got to know, because that was the thing. That was one of the big concerns with the vehicles and the troops and everything else moving into that area. They're going to kick up a bunch of radioactive dust that's going to go up into the air and poison people. They were concerned with rupturing of some of the containment units that they have moved radioactive material into and raising radioactive poisoned material. And then on top of it, because there's still cleanup efforts going on over there, and because the Russian government was not allowing them to like cycle in and out, people are going to get sick. They're going to get radiation poisoning. They're going to have long-term effects. They're going to like get cancer later on. I mean, you got to know that all of those troops are going to probably get sick later on. All of those Russian soldiers that went into that area. There has been now, one of the things that has been extremely heartening is that a lot of the Ukrainian people have stayed to fight.
Yep.
Because they do not have near the standing army of Russia.
Well, a lot of people tried to convince, a lot of people from around the world, like world leaders from Europe and the US, tried convincing Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, to leave, to get out. And he said no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he stuck around. He stayed in, and I mean, there have been a bunch of references to like how the Texas's power grid goes out and Ted Cruz, fucking makes a run for Mexico.
Yeah.
The Ukrainian or the Ukraine gets invaded by Russia, and their president sticks around and grabs a gun. I think I don't know what the casualty count is yet, but they or at the moment. But a couple of days ago, it was around 4,900 Russian troops, and they've been destroying tanks and vehicles, choppers, and jets have been shot down as well. I mean, there was a rumor of a Ukrainian jet fighter that had in one day had shot down 6 Russian.
Yeah, I forgot now the Phantom or something like that.
The Ghost.
The Ghost.
The Ghost of Kiev.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, it's kind of been debunked as just a rumor. But it did its job though. It was inspiring people. I saw.
Well, and that's what a lot of these stories are. I mean, like you've got the story of the 13 soldiers on Snake Island.
Yeah.
Which was one of the first places attacked. And they basically, the Russians came in and said, surrender or we're going to bomb you. And they responded with, go fuck yourself.
Right. And like the one Ukrainian soldier that sacrificed himself to make sure that they blew a bridge. Like he fucking.
The Ukrainians have been fighting hard. Or, you know what? The one that I want to talk about, though, I want to raise a fucking glass to the Sunflower Lady.
The what?
The Sunflower Lady. The lady who walked up to a Russian soldier on the street while they were occupying her town. And the sunflowers are the national flower of Ukraine.
Of the Ukraine, okay.
She walked up and offered him sunflower seeds and told him to put them in his pocket so that when he died, something beautiful would grow.
Oh, not on.
Right to his face. I actually saw the video of it, of her. Someone actually filmed her doing it.
Wow.
And the soldier just kept telling her, you know, you don't escalate this, blah, blah, blah. She's like, you are invaders. How can I escalate this farther? You are invading my country. Take these sunflower seeds, put them in your pockets, so that when you die, something beautiful will grow here. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Sláinte, lady.
Sláinte. There was a brewery in the Ukraine that stopped producing beer.
Yep.
And used their bottles and to produce Molotov.
I thought it was a winemaker.
Maybe it was a winery.
Yeah.
It was something.
Yep. They're making Molotov cocktails, and the labels say "fuck you."
Fuck you, Putin.
Yeah.
There's been talk about the fact that many people are thinking that Putin is unstable, that he's become unstable.
Well, he's saying
he's been rattling the nuclear saber.
He has, you know? And he's talking about how he's doing it. It's a denazification.
What was that again?
It's a denazification of Ukraine. That Zelensky's a Nazi, and so Zelensky is Jewish and had relatives killed in the Holocaust.
See, that's the thing though too, is Putin is famous for changing the narrative. If things are going bad, he changes the narrative. No, we weren't invading. That was just military exercises that got out of hand or something like that. He's going to change the narrative to suit him.
Well, I saw a thing. I watched John Oliver. Now, granted, John Oliver's very left slanted.
Oh, of course.
He had a thing where he showed Putin dressing down his spy master, who got up and basically said that they should give a diplomacy one more chance. And Putin's responses were basically, "Are you disagreeing that we should invade? Are you disagreeing that we should do this?" And he's like, no. Are you saying, what are you saying? He's like, well, I'm saying blah, blah, blah. He's like, then say that. And he kept going. It was really a keep disagreeing with me and you're done. And not just firing squatted is what that would have been.
Stella said that he's been taking, like Putin has been taking some kind of medication that for fitness medication, like what bodybuilders take. It might, not a steroid, but maybe something similar. And that as one of the side effects is aggressive tendencies and aggressive attitude and stuff like that. And so some people are trying to make that excuse for this guy. But one of the things that was very heartening is that, because he is now, it looked like he tried to do a blitzkrieg kind of attack, which meant, with a smaller force, go in, take over, dunzo.
He thought he could get it. He could get everything.
Right. That didn't fucking work. Putin's problem is no other country's playing along. That's very true. Everybody went, what the fuck are you doing? Huh?
You keep locking up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? There's a lot of people here, and they were all probably leeching off of the Wi-Fi. So I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, there's a lot of rumors saying that or people saying that the troops are abandoning their posts. Like the Russian troops they were lied to.
Yep. A lot of the captured Russian soldiers have said they don't know why they're there.
Right. They were lied to. They were told that it was like I said, military exercises. They were not told it was a full-scale invasion, that it was going to be a full-scale invasion. So a lot of, and apparently even some of the higher ranking military officers and advisors have quit.
And a lot of the troops that they're capturing are like 18, 19-year-olds.
Mm-hmm. Right. So my guess, and this is my hope, is that that we're going to see this peter out, because to some level. Now, the main thing that's really scary, though, is that Putin still has access to nuclear weapons, and that he could, he could use them. They also said something to the effect of, I saw another article saying that Putin tried to warn Trump at one point at their last meeting, that said to their last big meeting, saying like, if conflict happens, the nuclear option is on the table for Putin anyway. And apparently Donald Trump didn't understand it, didn't get the picture, didn't get it. There was basically an advisor that was
Trump
an expert on.
Trump came out saying what a great thing Putin was doing and how smart he was to do it this way. And I'm like, you fucking ass.
Yep. So, yeah. Oh, I mean, Donald Trump, like, apparently, yeah, he said some things when he was at Mar-a-Lago that made in support of essentially in support of Putin, and apparently made a lot of people very uncomfortable around in his area. So
Tucker Carlson supported it, I guess, on his show. I don't watch it, but I've heard that. I've seen memes of Putin with the employee of the month, and it's Tucker Carlson up on the wall now.
Man.
I've heard that Cruz, Paul, and was it Rufio or whatever?
Maybe.
Yeah, Marco Rubio. Rufio is the Lost Boy.
Yes,
Rubio.
That's the guy from Hook.
They all initially were supportive,
right?
But yeah, it's insane, and I'm of the opinion that one of the other things I read, and I don't know how much true it is, but a friend of mine said they saw it in 3 different places on and from 3 different sources. But there are some troops that are flat out saying, "No, we're done. We quit."
Yeah,
and basically defecting.
Yeah,
there were like 500 troops that just went, "No, we were lied to."
It's more like this. I heard it's closer to 5,000.
Oh yeah,
like they've had thousands of troops just like what, because that's the thing. I mean, some of these troops. I mean, the Ukraine is essentially they're Russian people. I mean, it's the same. It's just another. It's like the difference between
Ukraine's actually been around longer than Russia.
Yeah, sure, but they're the same people. I mean, it would be like Texans fighting people from Tennessee. It's just it's silly. And so what doesn't surprise, I mean, the language is extremely similar from what I understand. I think it's actually the same language, just with slight differences, like different dialect. It's like, the difference between Mexican Spanish and Spanish, or French Canadian French and Parisian French. It's
or American English and actual English.
And actual English, yeah. Didn't even think about that one. Irish and Irish English and American English. So so it's just fucked up, man. The whole thing, this is and it freaked me out because it's just the closest thing. This is how world wars start. This is essentially how World War I and World War II and the Korean War, how these wars started. There's an aggressor, a larger aggressor, more powerful country invaded a smaller one.
Well, and that's what a buddy of mine and I were talking about. And the concern that he brought up is that, so while everyone's watching Putin attack Ukraine and focused on that, that gives China the opportunity to invade Thailand, which they want to do. And then everyone goes, oh shit, and they switch to that along with that. So now their attention split. And then North Korea goes, oh, by the way, we want South Korea, and invades there too. And now we've got World War III.
Right, because exactly. This is opening up opportunities. I mean, from what I understand, there was bombing in Syria. There was a lot of military action that happened over on that side of the world, but it was largely overshadowed by Russia invading.
Canada, please invade Michigan.
Yeah. Have you heard? Apparently, there have been Americans and Canadians that have volunteered to go over and fight.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I was at a gas station, and I was looking through things, and I saw about a news report just a couple days ago about how 100,000 refugees had left the Ukraine and had gone into Hungary and gone into Poland, and just in the the surrounding countries to escape this, right? And this dude heard me say, wow, 100,000 refugees. And this old dude, really, like late boomer, and said, he's as long as they don't come here. And I just looked at him and I went, I would gladly take these refugees as long in the hopes that we don't have to send 200,000 of our troops over there, because then we are in the shit.
Yep.
Then we are in a world war, and that would be enough for Putin to launch nuclear weapons at us. You know.
Yeah. So
I don't think he's going to launch nuclear weapons at Europe, at the European countries, because those are his neighbors. Those are, even if he launched one, it would be enough for them to just go, oh really? And there would be a ground war like never before. And it would be also it's just poisoning yourself.
Yep.
That radiation was just gonna move right into Russia. If you were to like bomb Switzerland or whatever. Oh, and that's the other thing too. Congratulations, Russia, for making Switzerland.
I was just about to bring that up. So Hungary, who the Hungarian president is a supporter and friend of Putin's, has come out saying you need to pull back and we need to talk diplomatically.
Right. We need to reassess this.
Now Switzerland has actually taken a side.
Right.
How you really need to reevaluate what you're doing. If you have Switzerland going, you know what? Nah, we're going to side on this side now. We're not staying neutral on this one. We're going to say you need to pull your shit out. We're going to freeze all your assets.
Exactly. And that's the other thing they're doing. It's like the other countries may not be committing troops to it. They're giving the Ukraine weapons. They're doing things like that. But like all the sanctions that are being put on Russia now, the Russian ruble is in the toilet.
I guess it came back up a little bit today, but yeah, it dropped a lot.
It's still, there's always going to be a
30%
little
of its value, and it came back up like about 10%. They said today.
It's still, there's always a little bit of a, it'll come back a bit, but their economy is going to just tank. They're being locked out of the world banks.
Supposedly he's been spending the last few years since he invaded Crimea. He's been actually building a way to insulate them for this, so that their economy supposedly can survive. That's the concern, is whether or not he actually did build something where they can actually survive internally while they're getting all these sanctions put on them.
It's just very, very like
I don't
scary.
generally,
it's fucking scary.
I don't generally advocate for the death of another human being, but I think Putin's checked out his human card, and
oh yeah,
I really hope one of his higher ups just shoots him in the head.
Well, see, that's another theory that could potentially happen, is that that we'll see a coup. Like somebody will take him out and then, pull the troops back and say, ooh, sorry, our leader lost his mind. So, that's the other thing. Two people were saying like, oh, it's just commies, blah, blah, blah. Russia hasn't been a communist nation in decades.
No, but Putin is a commie. He was head of the KGB during the communist era. Sure.
He is a communist, yeah, but the Russian government, it's an oligarch. It's an oligarchy. It's basically run by
they have elections.
Rich people. Yeah, they have elections. Didn't he recently name himself president for life? It's ridiculous. So we're witnessing history here. And I got to tell you, I had a friend of mine post this the other day. I think it was Tom Downey, I'm not sure, but said, I'm really tired of living in interesting times.
Yep.
You know,
we said that was it you that said that last night?
I said it last night.
Yeah, on Tavern Talk.
But it's just like, I'm just tired of living in interesting times. It's like can we get a break? Can we get a rest? I mean, this is but
I love like all the stuff that I'm seeing online though, all the stuff that's supporting, like there's graffiti in Paris that I saw where it's a little girl carrying a Ukrainian flag and she's got this big smile on her face as she's walking along crushing tanks.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much support for them all over the world, and watching what they're doing. A buddy of mine posted, "Wow, look, all these patriots defending the Capitol rather than attacking it. Is that what you're supposed to do?"
Yeah,
I'm asking for American Republicans. So, and I'm like.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, this is how you're supposed to treat your capital. Oh, shit.
And then other things like things that can be seen from space, the pyramids, the Amazon River, the Grand Canyon, Zelensky's balls.
Yeah, no shit. I love how people are also pointing out the fact that he won like Dancing with the Stars in the Ukraine a couple years ago, It's like, oh my
he's
God,
young too.
Yeah, he's on the younger side for a politician. It's like, what else? There was something. Oh, something that's scary though. I mean that like Putin is.
Yeah, he's 44.
Wow. Okay, he's actually younger than us.
Yeah.
What's really scary too is that Putin is now committing like his full forces. Like apparently, satellite images have shown that the convoy is 40 miles long.
Yeah,
bringing in troops. And
what that tells me is that's just set up perfectly for a bomb run. Just oh, sorry, our planes kind of, the U.S. we were flying maneuvers and they got off course and they thought that was the target. It just our bad.
Yeah. Apparently, too, there was, I guess, the world's largest aircraft was in the Ukraine, and it was damaged. It was at one of the various airports or whatever.
Well, that was one of the first things they did was bomb all the airports.
Yeah, and it was damaged. I mean, and they said that's going to cost several $1 billion to fix, and it's going to be repaired, and it's going to be on Russia's dime. I'm like, that's ballsy, but I like it. It's just, I think probably my favorite thing, though, of like I said, a lot of companies have been locking out Russian interests. Like Warner Brothers is delaying, or if not outright canceling, the releases of movies that were due to go to Russia, such as the Batman, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. Several other, a lot of other companies are pulling out. People have been destroying like Russian vodka and like pouring out Russian products.
You got to make sure that it actually is Russian vodka, because a lot of the vodka we drink here in the States is not Russian.
No,
it's actually made in either the U.S. or some of it's made in Ukraine.
Sure. So, I mean, even so, though, I mean, they're trying to show solidarity and stuff like that. Now, what we have to remember, those too, is just because it is a Russian business or a Russian, it could be a little Russian restaurant somewhere in the United States here. They don't have anything to do with this. They don't have anything to do with this family that
the old lady running the Russian, restaurant there. It has nothing to do with this.
Nothing to do with this invasion, and probably doesn't support it any more than any of us do. So let's not like take it out.
They're saying like 5,000 people have been arrested as well for protests.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100,000 people showed up in St. Petersburg to protest this. From
what I was hearing today, the Russian government is hearing about these protests ahead of time and blocking off every town square when they know there's a protest coming. Mm-hmm. And what this tends to turn into, this was a guy in Moscow that was talking about it. He said, what we're seeing for these protests, because as soon as someone holds up a sign or starts a chant, they're grabbed and put into a police van that's waiting.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's because, they don't exactly have the freedoms that we have.
Right.
So,
but he said that what we're seeing is thousands of people show up, hundreds to thousands of people show up to these protests, and they just kind of mill around. And then one person will do something, get grabbed and put in, and then a little while later, someone else will do something and get grabbed and put in. And
yeah.
And I guess right now they're saying they're only being charged with what's basically like a misdemeanor.
Sure.
Of kind of like disturbing the peace type of thing.
Well, there's no way they're being,
which is
with all of the
10 to 15,
just wouldn't be enough room.
Right. Well, 10 to 15 days in jail. Although I guess there is talk inside that there could be treason charges and things like that for protesting the war.
Well, I mean, yeah. I think one of my favorite, like, kind of shows of solidarity, though, Stella didn't like it. She thought it was kind of stupid. But the fact that Pornhub shut down all of their servers that served Russia, and then put a Ukrainian flag up from where they, if you accessed the site from Russia, you saw a Ukrainian flag and a show of support or whatever, and we support.
Well, I heard that actually, Putin,
like, you take away their porn, that's gonna definitely.
Well, I heard that when Putin attacked, he basically shut the internet down in Russia because he didn't want the Russian people to see it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's also a war of propaganda. So, but
well, we are 4 minutes away from the State of the Union address.
Sure.
So I know that I'm sure people will want to watch that. So if you do need to drop and go watch that, I completely get that. Just come back and watch us later on Twitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this will be up for a couple of weeks. So
yeah, I mean, it is pretty important. I think it is going to be an important one.
So, I think so too.
I'll definitely be checking it out. I think it'll probably be on Peacock or something like that. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. It'll be on probably Peacock, Hulu, all of those. But yeah, so we spent almost an hour on that. So, well, that's very important. I think we need to get to some lighter stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to, we don't do this, but it was a very important thing. It is, honestly, it probably, since we started doing this show, one of the most important things that's happened.
We've talked about a lot of stuff that we've said, we really need to talk about this, but this is this is something that I think the entire world needs to talk about. Yeah,
absolutely.
And needs to be paying attention to, because something needs to be done.
Exactly. Just Batman, Morbius, Sonic 2, and more of it pulled from release in Russia. So Sony, Disney, Paramount, Warner Brothers have blocked its biggest films from premiering in Russia. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Which the Batman does start this Friday.
That's right. This Friday. It's getting initial reviews are coming in very positive. Very dark movie, probably the darkest Batman movie we've seen so far. A very
which is kind of saying something.
That is saying a lot, honestly. I mean, geez, this is Batman, for crying out loud. Gotham City. So yeah, that they're saying extremely dark. I've heard that the guy playing Batman,
Pattinson,
Robert Pattinson. They're saying that his Batman's pretty good, but his Bruce Wayne's a little apparently his Bruce is a recluse. He's not like a dashing playboy that he's kind of depicted many times, but he's more of a kind of brooding recluse, which just makes sense. But at the same time,
it's more the early Bruce, which is what I think they're going for. This is supposed to be like a young Bruce, still, which he was a recluse at first.
Sure, but then he figured out that one of the best ways to throw people off the scent of him being Batman is for him to be the opposite of Batman. So
that's why have people look at him and go, there is no fucking way that guy
no fucking way this guy
is
right
Batman.
This douchebag, what this rich guy who doesn't I mean, and that's the thing, in Batman is the only character where Bruce Wayne is the act.
Yeah, he's the alter ego.
And he's the alter ego. That Bruce's real personality is that of the Batman, not so much. I mean, the other superheroes are either, they either don't put on a personality, or it's not as
Clark Kent and Superman are pretty much the same person.
Similar. They're very, very similar. He used to dumb himself down back in the before the crisis and before, they used to say that he used to dumb himself down a bit as Clark, at least when after he became Superman, and then he would kind of like he would slouch and he would change his hairstyle and different things like that. I mean, I saw a meme earlier that said seeing the girl from the New Girl, what was
Zooey Deschanel.
Zooey Deschanel, seeing her without her glasses on and her hairstyle differently without the bangs and stuff makes me believe that people wouldn't recognize Superman and Clark Kent because she looks so strikingly different.
Huh, okay.
But anyway, so yeah, apparently the supporting cast is really great. They're getting a lot of attention for a really great supporting cast. Jeffrey Rush playing Commissioner Gordon. He's really great. They actually call him, he's almost Batman's sidekick through a lot of the movie. Andy Serkis as Alfred, a much more rough and tumble, I guess. I think he's a little more closer to the Alfred from Gotham. But yeah, I guess he's a little more, just a little less urbane.
That reminds me, I still need to watch Pennyworth.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. That just that's on HBO Max.
Yep, I know. I saw that it was coming to HBO Max, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to watch that. But yeah, exactly. I'm actually kind of looking forward to seeing this Batman. I want to see how it is. I will go watch it. I'm not going to say I won't watch it. Like, I won't be as skeptical about this as I am about any Fantastic Four movie that comes out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was a little worried about that Pattinson wasn't going to be right for it. But then when I started seeing the images and whatnot, I was like, no, I think he'll do all right. He could potentially do okay. I think the costume looks pretty good. I like the Batmobile. I like that the Batmobile looks like a fucking car and not a tank. I was never fully comfortable with the Tumbler. I like it when the Batmobile looks like a car, a souped up, gnarly looking badass car, but it needs to look like a car, not a rocket ship, not a spaceship or something like that. It needs to look like a fucking car. I mean, as much as I loved the Batmobiles from the class, the 80s Batmobile, the 80s
that
Batmobile.
Long ass thing with the jet engine in the middle of it, basically.
Yeah. It was fucking cool. And but
it had about
there was a part of me that was
feet in front for the
it was huge. It was apparently it was very difficult to drive. Who was the director? That was Tim Burton.
For the first two.
Yeah, for the first two. He was produced the third one, but he wasn't a director in that. I think he got a producer credit.
And Schumacher killed it all.
And then Schumacher, wrecked it. But it was just it was still really cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was a really cool design of the Batmobile, but I think I always preferred the Batmobile. Some of the Batmobiles from the comic books that just looked more like a pretty impressive fucking car. And those started to kind of go a little, particularly, I mean, I'd say the Batmobiles from the first two Burton movies were pretty cool, but then once it started getting in the third one.
One of my favorites is still the 66 Batman.
That's a great Batmobile. Also difficult to drive too, from what I understand.
Oh yeah. I hadn't heard that, but
very long.
It
was also very long. It's just, it cornered. It was tough to corner, corner. So yeah, it's just but so I'm excited to see that it is a muscle car, and apparently it does have like a nitro booster. It's got it does have a jet, kind of booster in the back and stuff. And but I am excited. This Friday it comes out. I don't know if we'll have gaming on Friday, so I won't be able to see it on Friday. But
because you're working, right?
Pardon?
You're working Friday?
Oh, well, actually, no. I guess I could go during the day because we're not working. We don't work Friday.
Because I may not be working Friday, so
Matinee.
It could be a matinee before gaming.
It could be. I'd be down. That would be fun.
Means you got to get up, before
Hey,
2.
I don't sleep all day now. I gotta get up. I gotta be to work. I mean, I don't gotta be to work at 9, but I can't be so much sleep until noon. I did wake Stella up at 12:30 today. I called her, hey, the weather's nice. You should take Dresden for a walk. And she's like, oh yeah, okay. I'm like, did I wake you up? I was up until like 3 a.m. Yeah, okay. So
but yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. The other thing that I saw today is that the Netflix MCU shows, along with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., are coming to Disney Plus this month.
Exactly. I'm very there were rumor at first that maybe it would only go to Disney or go to Disney Plus in Canada, in Europe, but now they are actually, I guess they did finally say that, yep, it's going to be in the United States too.
Yeah, and with that, they're changing their parental controls because there's going to be shows. Well, a lot of these shows are going to be TVMA because of the violence content, and especially with like The Punisher and things like that. And so they're changing their parental controls to now not be just TV 14 and above. Now it's going to be TVMA to get everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying that if you want to watch everything on Disney Plus, you have to go in and change it. Otherwise, if you leave them the way that you leave the settings the way they are, they will stay at TV 14 and you will not be able to watch any of these shows.
I'll make that change right now.
I don't think it goes into effect until the 16th. That's when they're putting the new parental controls in as well.
Okay. Well, I'm interested, like, because I honestly haven't watched like the final seasons of most of those Netflix shows.
One of the things that I really liked, so this is on the Nerdist, and I have to read this because I thought it was so. I actually laughed out loud a little bit when I read it, and it says, the Switch might portend a new future for the shows. While the Netflix shows connected with the MCU previously, the film side tended to ignore them. But as the MCU gets deeper into the multiverse, those series could prove more important than ever. Daredevil's Matt Murdock, played by Charlie Cox, and Kingpin Vincent D'Onofrio have already made their MCU debuts. Other fan-favorite Defenders, as well as Iron Fist, could soon be on their way too. No.
Okay.
No, think about the way that was read. That was written. Other fan-favorite Defenders and Iron Fist.
And Iron Fist, right. Yeah, they need to just concentrate on Daredevil, Jessica Jones. I'd love to see more Luke Cage.
I would love to see more Luke Cage, but he said he's done.
Yeah.
And he's got his show Evil on CBS. So
well, recast then. Fine, recast. Yeah. It's fine.
I would be sad to recast him, but because I thought he was just so good. I just really enjoyed him as that character. And now we're gonna see we'll see Cottonmouth come back as Blade. So
yeah, that's true. I don't know. I'm just like I said, excited that it's going to be on Disney Plus. And I mean, yeah, it was on Netflix, and I had Netflix and stuff, but I was a little worried when I heard, oh shit, it's dropping off, and but it's going to go to something else, and that's good. Yeah. I mean, that's what's happening with a lot of these things. They drop off one thing, they get on the other. I saw Free Guy was on Disney Plus.
Yep.
But it's also, I think, on HBO Max.
Oh, is it?
Right now too, yeah. Because it was on HBO,
Free Guy was so much better than I thought it was going to be.
I still haven't watched it, but yeah, I actually bought the DVD knowing that I was going to like this. So
you need to watch it too, because that movie was great.
So many things I need to get caught back up on. I'm like, it's just I'm so behind in so much shit. But yeah, definitely want to watch that, and then I'm definitely going to make a point, because I was trying to try and get caught up on the Arrowverse. Like, I took a break from the Marvel.
I was trying that for a while and I gave up.
Well, I was trying to get. I mean, the Marvel Netflix shows were really heavy, They're really dense. They're really heavy. And I was like, I watched like the first 2 seasons of most of them, and
but they're only 12 or 13 episodes.
True.
Versus the Arrowverse, which is 22.
20, yeah, 22. So I was like, I'm gonna take a little break from these and get back into the Arrowverse. And then I've just been lazy about it, So I got to get back to both of them and stuff. I'm currently working on season 2 of Black Lightning, which was a solid show.
Where I stopped, I was in season 1 of Heroes of Tomorrow, or Legends of Tomorrow.
Right on. It's a good one. I mean, it's still a great show. That's actually.
I've heard that it's really. I've heard it's good, and I've heard it gets better. That you really kind of got to get through season 1, because season 1 isn't grabbing me.
Yeah, you got to get through season 1. I definitely will agree with that. Once you get out of season 1 and you get into some of the other stuff, and it gets a lot better. It really does.
I mean, I still enjoy like Arrow, and I enjoy Flash, but I'm trying to watch them kind of in the order that they came out, type of thing, rather than watching all of Arrow, all of Flash, all of Legends, all of Black Lightning, all of Supergirl. What else is there?
Stargirl.
Oh, Stargirl. Yep. I haven't even started that one.
Technically, Constantine was part of the.
I watched Constantine. I loved Constantine.
Constantine was great.
Fantastic. I love that they brought him back as Constantine.
He becomes a major part of the Legends.
Right.
So that's one of the things where Legends really improves is when he joins the show.
Yeah, but I mean, him coming into Arrow and stuff, I thought was great. I loved him as Constantine. I think that show needed time to really get going, and they didn't get it because look, it's on Fox.
It needed one, right? It needed one more season.
Yep.
It really did. It needed one more season. It would have had all of the everything it needed. Apparently, Free Guy has been nominated for an Academy Award. I don't know for what, but so
maybe effects. Got a lot of special effects.
Probably. Most sci-fi, when a sci-fi oriented film gets nominated, it's usually for effects.
Catchphrase.
Yeah. So I'm.
CD, do Daredevil before you do Jessica Jones.
Oh, for sure. Do the first season of honestly, do the first season of Daredevil, and then go into the first season of Jessica Jones for sure.
Now, the first season of Daredevil is a little slow, but it's an origin story.
It's still really worth it.
Oh, it is. Some of those fight scenes are totally worth watching. That hallway fight scene is just still one of my favorites.
Yeah, and
that was in like episode 3, I think it is.
And then also too, like Jessica Jones was just spectacularly good.
It was rough, man. That
was rough. It's definitely rough, particularly the first season. Yeah. I can't remember the second.
David Tennant is so awesome in that, though.
I'm trying to remember what happened in the second season and stuff. I think when it goes to Disney Plus, I'm gonna start over again. Just gonna start over. Watch the first season of them.
And season 2.
I'll even give Iron Fist another try. Let's give it a shot.
And season 2 of Daredevil, where they bring Punisher in, was just that rooftop scene is another one of my favorite scenes.
And then Punisher
Punisher was.
I've never been a particularly big fan of the Punisher. I always thought he's a guy with a gun. I mean, yeah, I get it, but I've never been a big fan of those kind of superheroes, and but it was still a really good fucking show.
Yeah,
really good.
Yep. First season is way better than the second season, I think, though.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. The second season, I didn't think. I thought the second season was all right, but it kind of dragged on.
I think they only did 2 seasons of Punisher, right?
Yes.
I don't think I watched the second.
There's 3 seasons of Daredevil, 3 seasons of Jessica Jones, 2 seasons of Punisher, 2 of Luke Cage, 2 of Iron Fist, and one of Defenders.
So good stuff. Awesome stuff. Overall, it was good. I mean, I will say the second season of Iron Fist was a lot better than the first season. They definitely fixed a lot of the issues.
I think they fired all the writers from the first season and got new writers.
What
and new fight choreographers.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the other thing too. Is just the guy that they chose to play Danny Rand. I didn't buy him as being like one of the greatest martial artists of all on planet Earth. It's just, the fight choreography, yeah, particularly in the first season, was not great, and it improved, but the show just did dramatic. It was a dramatic improvement in the second season. So,
well, and then we get Moon Knight at the end of the month.
Oh my God! All right, so. There was a little bit of there's been a little bit of a controversy about that. Apparently, the writer has made the lead character Moon Knight. They've basically made him Jewish, and so I guess some people were kind of like, "Well, wait, he's not Jewish in the comic books," or and so a bunch of people were kind of like, "Yeah, well, you're spitting in the face of the creators." I'm like, are they really? I mean. I don't know about spitting in the face of the creators. I mean, the writer apparently the head writer is Jewish, and he wanted to establish this character as such. And I'm like, yeah, all right, that's fine. I mean, I just thought it was kind of like, that's kind of an extreme reaction, I mean, I don't think I've read Moon Knight comics over the years. I've always liked Moon Knight, but it was one of those comics I've never really collected.
I've always liked Moon Knight, but I never collected it.
Right. He's a very cool looking character too.
I've always loved the look. He's been one of my favorite costumes.
Exactly. And people are always like, "Ooh, he's Marvel's Batman." Nah, not really. I mean,
if Batman had split personality syndrome and
and venerated the Egyptian moon god Khonshu, I mean,
and had magical powers,
and had some, because that's the other thing too. I mean,
he throws boomerangs. So
right.
So that's the same as a batarang, right? That makes him the same.
Right. Yeah. And that's the other thing too. At some point, there sometimes he's had powers, sometimes he hasn't. I think I remember at one point he actually had enhanced abilities at night when the moon was, and they got stronger
as the moon
got full. So. But then they kind of wrote that shit out. I mean, Moon Knight actually started, his first appearance was in an issue of Werewolf by Night.
Yep. He was a werewolf hunter.
He was a werewolf hunter. Yeah. His whole thing was silver weapons, silver this, and silver that. And then they went, hey, this character's got potential. Let's change him and let's do some other things with him. So,
and he hunted by the moon because he was after werewolves.
Yeah, I also liked how he wore a white costume at night.
Yep.
With silver accents, because he was like, yeah, I want them to see me coming. I want to scare the living shit out of them. I was like, okay. I keep getting my computer and everything's making all kinds of noise. So I'm excited for this. Is this going to be on Disney Plus? Or is it going to be on Hulu? I can't remember.
Disney Plus.
Okay, because there were talk like, some of these things are going to Hulu, some of these Disney properties, because they're a little more adult. And I'm just surprised because this one does look like it's going to be like pretty kick-ass. So I don't know, but this is looking pretty awesome though. I think Oscar Isaac is a hell of an actor. I think he's going to do a great job on this. And we haven't seen a bad. I mean. Even the worst of this stuff has still been pretty good.
Yeah, now I will say, like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. really kind of jumped the shark around season 5. Mm-hmm. When they started doing like the future stuff and the Kree invasion, but
there was still some really cool shit.
There was still some really good stuff, and that's the thing. Really I still enjoyed it, but I was watching it going, I don't know, why did they have to go here?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I mean, just we were saying about Iron Fist, which was considered probably the worst of the 4 Netflix shows. It still had some cool shit in it, particularly, and it ended well. Mm-hmm. It ended well. The second season ended really well with Colleen Wing and her use and kind of the passing of the torch and all these other things. I don't want to spoil too much in case some people haven't seen it yet, but It's good. I think these Netflix shows are going to get kind of a resurgence in their popularity too, as it goes to Disney Plus. And a bunch of people who maybe didn't see it finally are going to also get the chance to see it again. So yeah, even at their worst, it's still been pretty fucking awesome. You know, I kind of equate it to Star Trek. You know, even bad Star Trek is still Star Trek. You know, I think that's what we're experiencing with these Marvel things too. So I am excited to see what they're going to do with Moon Knight, and to see how they're going to handle the character, because it does seem like this version of Moon Knight, the MCU Moon Knight, does have some kind of magical ability. You know, at least his costume, maybe his weapons, maybe all that kind of stuff. So we shall see. I wanted to kind of hit on a couple of things here real quick, because that I've been finding out about, little things here. Apparently, Chris Hemsworth is going to be the villain in the Mad Max Furiosa movie.
Okay.
He's going to break his trend of hero roles. And this is the spin-off of the most recent Mad Max movie. And Fury Road, I think it's Fury Road.
Yeah, Fury Road.
Over the years, we've grown rather accustomed to seeing Chris Hemsworth play hero types on screen, whether as Thor in MCU or as a leading man in Extraction, Snow White and the Huntsman, or Men in Black International. However, in the upcoming Mad Max Fury Road spin-off Furiosa, the actor will be flipping the script in Furiosa as he's set to play the lead villain. So that's pretty fucking cool. I wouldn't mind seeing Chris Hemsworth like kind of stretch his acting muscles a little bit more.
If you watched the what was it, the something or other at the El Royale, he wasn't a good guy in that.
Okay.
He was kind of a bad guy, and it was interesting to see it. He did good.
Okay. I'll have to check that out. I was meaning to check that out anyways.
It was a little slower than I expected, but
okay. So apparently, the Furiosa is a prequel. Mad Max Furiosa will see Hemsworth and Anna Taylor-Joy.
Anya Taylor-Joy, isn't it?
Anya, I don't know. Who was who played Ilyana Rasputin in the New Mutants. Will share the screen with Manx Tom Burke, who replaced Yaha Abdullah Mateen in When 2, the second, when the Candyman actor exited the project late last year. Little has been revealed about the plot so far, but we do know Taylor-Joy will be playing a younger version of Charlize Theron's Imperator Furiosa, the rebellious war captain who teamed up with Tom Hardy's Max Rakatansky. Can't speak apparently. Max Rakatansky to free Immortan Joe's 5 wives. During an interview with The Hollywood Reporter in 2020, in July of 2020, Theron described the recasting as a little heartbreaking. She was quick to admit, though, how excited she is to see the character's story continue with or without her. So I think she was kind of like, I can still play the younger version, which she probably could, but I think they wanted to go much younger. So that's cool. Zoe Saldana opened up about making the new Star Trek, the 4th movie coming up, the new Star Trek, the Kelvin timeline. Zoe Saldana says making Star Trek 4 will be bittersweet without her late co-star Anton Yelchin.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
It is a bummer. Seeing having the movies continue on without Chekhov is going to be a bit of a bummer, and honestly, it was a real bummer that the way the kid died. Anton Yelchin was very talented. He was very young.
I loved him as Chekhov.
He was great. Well, also because he could relate. He goes, my parents talk like that. You know, I mean, his folks have a very similar accent to the accent he used as Chekhov. So it's pretty funny. But yeah, it was sad that we didn't, get to see that. So anyway, that will be moving along. They're going to be, he was only 27. He died June 19th in 2016. They are saying, they're going to be, production is set to begin in 2022, later this year. while we wait for the next Kelvin timeline adventure. Okay, never mind. So yeah, from what I understand, they are going to be just writing him out of the script, basically saying that Chekhov took an assignment elsewhere, I believe, instead of continuing on. So it's kind of a bummer. We also saw this week the release of the new huge video game from George R.R. Martin, the writer of the wonderful Game of Thrones books, Elden Ring. Apparently it's doing very well. People are saying really good things about it. George R.R. Martin has broken his silence on Elden Ring's launch to lavish praise on the From Software team. Linking to reviews from the landmark mega hit on his blog, Like a Proud Parent, he called the widespread acclaim for Elden Ring music to the ears. Of course, almost all the credit should go to Hidetaka Miyazaki and his astonishing team of game designers who have been laboring on this game for half a decade or more, determined to create the best video game ever. It's amazing to me how long some of these video games take to make. Like half a decade to make a single game. It's one of the reasons why they continue to milk games like this. It's why games like Skyrim, which you are experiencing now, a game
played about 3 hours today.
Yeah, it's a game that took many years to make.
Building my second house.
Oh, are you really? Where?
Morcath, up in the north.
Markarth, yeah. Markarth. Cool. Yeah. I have like 8 houses right now.
I have my small house, and I'm building the Great Hall right now.
Well, I have my house in Whiterun.
And I'm almost broke again because I'm doing that with the house.
Yeah, of course. I have my house.
I'm house poor.
Yeah, my house in Whiterun, which is the first one you get. I also have the Tundra estate, which is like an add-on. It's part of the extra stuff, and that's outside the city, but right next to Whiterun. I also have the plantation, the farm that you can get, which is also a new add-on with the new anniversary edition. I also had made the one built the house in Falkreath, which is part of the Hearthstone expansion, which is one of the initial first expansions. I also have a house in the Ratways in Riften, which I didn't know about. That's another new expansion. And then I just bought the house in Riften too.
That's where I did most of my exploring and adventuring today, was in Riften.
In Riften? Oh, yeah. Riften's cool. I like Riften.
Riften it's Gotham. I mean, it's a corrupt city.
It's a corrupt city. It's the city that the Thieves Guild has their headquarters in. So, did you join the Thieves Guild?
No.
Okay.
No, actually, I talked to the lion. What's her name? The lioness. And told her that I was against the Thieves Guild. Yeah, and she's like, oh, you might be the only other person in town other than this guy that I can trust.
Well, the thing about the Thieves Guild is they are kind of, they're the Thieves Guild, but they're also like, damn the man kind of Thieves Guild, you know? So you can and that's the thing, you can do those missions and it really doesn't affect the overall, the later gameplay. It doesn't just because you join the Thieves Guild doesn't mean you can't join the Imperial Army or whatever. Or you can also
I still haven't decided if I'm joining the Stormcloaks or the Imperials, so.
Like, once again, most people, you do the Imperial quest because the Stormcloaks are just racist bastards.
They're not racist, man. They just want they want Skyrim for the Nord people.
Yeah, but they also want to kick everybody else out. So that means some of them
do, but not all of them.
Well, that's what the leader wants. All what's his Stormcloak wants everybody out of Skyrim except for the Nord. So that's all the Khajiit and the Argonians and the elves, whether they're dark or wood elves,
the orcs
and the orcs and the orcs have been there just as long as the Nords have too, from what I understand. So it's like, so yeah, I haven't actually did that faction, that storyline sword quest yet. I haven't gone to Solitude, or I'm kind of holding off yet on some of that. But I'm
making my way over to Dawnstar right now to talk to the Dawn Guard.
Yeah, and that's not near Dawnstar. Dawnstar is in the north. The Dawn Guard is closer to Riften.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Is that that's right? Dawnstar's up there. I'm going over to talk to the Dawn Guard by Fort Dawn Guard.
To start the vampire stuff. That is a lot of fun. That's a fucking blast.
I've already killed at least 2 vampires.
Sure.
Well, vampire leaders.
Yeah. Once you start to talk to and start the quest line, you'll get randomly attacked by vampires at night. Kind of cool. Even in the city, like they'll show up in like Whiterun and stuff like that. Yeah, just attacking you.
Well, it's good that I've got Dawnbreaker.
Dawnbreaker, yeah. This is the other thing too. I've been finding more signature weapons. I found this bow that was it's a Daedric weapon, and it's fucking badass. It's not quite as good as this other bow that I got.
I found the mask, the Voltung that I'm wearing now.
Oh yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. So there's like 10 of those.
And then right after that, I got the mask of Clovis.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta beat one of those dragon priests, and then you get the masks.
The Clovis one he just gave me.
Oh, okay.
Because I returned his dog to him.
Oh, yeah, the mask of Club. Yeah, I actually don't wear that one all the time, but I always wear it when I go into a city.
See,
because it increases your speech and it improves your prices.
Yes, but the Voltung does the same thing for speechcraft and increases your persuasion.
Yeah.
And that's the one I'm usually wearing.
The mask of Clavicus Vile. It's got the horns.
Yeah. It looks like Loki with the
Yeah. And that dog, oh man, that fucking dog mission.
I concentrated on that so I could get rid of that goddamn dog.
God, yeah. You want to get rid of the goddamn dog because he keeps talking to you and he's bothering you.
And the voice actor was just annoying.
Yeah.
And I think he was supposed to be.
Yeah. Later on, you'll find like you can get the Mace of Moloch.
Barbarous, yes.
Barbarous the dog, yeah. I mean, it's, he was just a dog. It's such a great game, though. I love it. I was talking to somebody else about that today. So, well, I think I'm about out. What?
The only other thing I had was, and I wanted to mention this because it came up on Netflix. Netflix sent me. I get the emails from Netflix, and it says, "Hey, we just added a TV show you might like." And I always look at those just to see what they think I will like. And this is one I might have to check out just because of how bad it looks. It's called The Guardians of Justice. Mm-hmm. It's a new show. It says it's 2022. They say it's a 70 or 98% match. 7 episodes. Provocative superhero dark comedy.
What's it called again?
The Guardians of Justice.
And it's on what?
Netflix.
Netflix.
Just looking at it, I'm like, okay, I have to look at the trailer because just the pictures, the way that the stuff's written, the way that everything looks, it looks like a bad 70s sci-fi show. Like a low-budget 70s sci-fi. I watched the trailer and I'm like, yep, that's what it looks like. The acting looks like it's going to be that like poor 70s sci-fi. I'm like, this looks terrible. I'll have to watch it.
Guardians
of Justice.
Oh, it came. I didn't even have to finish typing it in. Diamond Dallas Page is on the cast.
Yes.
Sharni visits Derek Mears 40 years after he appeared in the sky to save humanity. Marvelous Man makes a televised address that shocks the world and his Guardians of Justice. I am going to watch the shit out of this. Oh my God. It's just gone on my fucking list. Yes, sirree, Bob. That's funny. I'm in. Yeah. Fucking awesome.
That might have to be the next thing we talk about. Because we got a couple of weeks before we get Moon Knight.
We do. All right.
Actually, next week we might be able to do a Batman non-spoiler review.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
that is also true.
I'm started Squid Factor. May have to watch this instead. I've started watching Squid Game, and I was having trouble getting into it. It was okay, but I'm like, it seemed like the episodes were too long. But that's everything I had tonight.
Right on. Yeah, I'm tapped as well, I think here.
Hey, CD just resubs 6 months. Way to go, man.
Hey, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much.
That's
really
great,
appreciate that.
Thank you again for everybody that has been subbing and joining us and coming and checking us out. We really appreciate it. We're trying to do something here, you know. And we're trying to do more. I'm gonna have hopefully Chris, maybe he can. We're thinking about him coming over on Saturday and helping me get set up so I can do a little streaming. I realized that I really kind of need a new camera. This camera is not the best. It's kind of old, and I mean the picture is not horrible, but I think I could get a better one.
Yeah, mine's really crisp, and it's the same camera that we use. That's the one that we use for the game downstairs. Yeah, yours is really nice and crisp. It's a good picture. Mine just looks a little grainy. So, but yeah, my plan is I'd love to stream from my PlayStation and play some of my PlayStation games because they're a little more newer and modern. But I've got a screaming crap ton of games here on my computer that are also are also pretty cool. So, we'll see. I mean, I've got blah, 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 what have I got? Well, maybe the next time when I do a second playthrough of Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. I've got Conan Exiles. I've got City of Heroes, but I think you're not allowed to stream that. I also have the Amazon's game New World, which I think you are. I think they actually encourage it. Yeah, you can actually get special things if you stream that one. I've actually got New World as well. Yeah, exactly. And I've been meaning to try. I've been meaning to get back into it because it is a pretty cool. Cool game. It wasn't grabbing me. That was the problem. Yeah, it really didn't grab me. It's kind of cool, but like I said, I think I really want to give it some more time and some more energy to really kind of get into the meat of the game because I don't think I have. So, well, it's not that they don't allow the games; it's certain things don't allow you to stream the game because City of Heroes, it's not an official game. It's a basically they rewrote the code. Yeah, they reverse engineered the code. That's right. It's a free game now, and they are not allowed to make any profit on it. And I think there were some people that were people that were streaming it, and then they got like cease and desists from. Yeah, it's a rights thing because the game actually is officially defunct. Right. But there's still a big fan base of people that pay for the servers every month. You know, apparently the game needs about $5,000 every month just to keep the servers going, and they get that, and it's just from donations from the people playing the game. Yep. So I haven't played it in a while. I need to go back and I'm playing it. So, anywho's, so yeah, we should probably wrap things up, Chris. I'm really hungry. And I want to go check out the State of the Union. So yeah, exactly. So guys, thanks for joining us. Be sure to tell all your friends about us, and be sure to download and or stream the shows at all the places you can find quality podcasting. Guys, we are on the Google Play Store. We're on iTunes. We're on Samsung now as the Samsung app or whatever it is. We're on Spotify. We're on Stitcher. We're on the Odyssey app. That's it, right? Samsung. And I said Samsung. Oh, did you? Okay. Yeah. Then I think that's it. And then check us out. We're here every Tuesday night at 8:00 here on Drinking Nerds here on Twitch. Chris puts the show up a couple of days later on our YouTube channel. Usually by the same name. I still gotta get last week's up. I said usually when he gets around to it. Yeah. Be sure to join us this Friday at 7:30 right here for our D&D game Tavern Nights. We'll be back. Gonna be a good time Friday night. So exactly. Yes, CD, you're right. Peace does mean a lot nowadays. It's definitely something that has a lot of meaning right now. But yeah, so you remember you can follow us on most of the social medias. We are on Facebook, Nerds with Alcohol Show. We're on Twitter at Drinking Nerds, Instagram Drinking Nerds, and of course YouTube Drinking Nerds as well. Cool, CD. We always appreciate you coming by. Like we've said before, we can't always talk like we can here when on our game on Friday because it is an actual like role-playing game where we're actually playing and not necessarily paying attention to the chat. But please, anyone that's out there, feel free to talk amongst yourselves about the show, make comments about it. We will go back and look at them, even if it's during break, and we'll usually talk about it in break. And occasionally somebody will see something and just make a comment on it. But But yeah, so yeah, I think that's gonna about do it.
Yep.
One more toast to the sunflower lady, because man,
toast to the sunflower lady. Toast to all of
she's my idol right now.
Toast to all of the people in
Ukraine
right now.
And what they're going through.
Exactly.
You know, Slancha, good health to all of you. And yeah, fuck Putin.
Fuck Putin. Fuck Putin.
So,
cheers.
All right. So I think your body dirt will fertilize my veggies.
Fucking awesome. Thank you.
Right.
That's
a good way to end the show.
It is.
On
that note.
I think on that note, until next time.
Slancha.
It was okay. All right. Have a good week, everybody.
Good night.